taking Korean if you're Korean? I mean, isn't that cheating? This question? Look, I understand why my peers would be skeptical. I mean, learning a new language should be a challenge. So it doesn't really make sense that I would enroll in Korean language classes. I usually respond with this question. Have you grown up speaking to your parents in English? Unfortunately, many first-generational children of immigrants, such as myself, don't have this luxury. One of the most difficult things of my childhood, and is still a challenge presently, is having a language barrier with my own parents. Conversations went something like this. Daughter, how do you like your morning class? Yes, good. I like teacher. Oh, really? Is he attractive or something? Breaking out in English. No, when I use the word like, I just meant don't yell at me in your English. The term parents just don't understand had a whole new meaning, a very literal meaning. My parents' response to my final grade in my Korean course was, wait, you got an A in Korean? Even at Notre Dame, I was going to do whatever I could to feel more part of my own race. In a school where minorities make up 20% of the campus, it seemed that most Asians were perceived as either completely Americanized or completely foreign. Although not exactly prominent at Notre Dame, there are those who are not 100% of anything. Asian American, or African American, or those who are in the process of legally becoming American. I'm comforted by the fact that I am not alone. I hear people say, why do all the Asians hang out with each other? All the time. No one is being deliberately cold or exclusive. Although I have wonderful friends of all backgrounds, there's a level of understanding between fellow Asian Americans and myself, where the miscommunication with my parents sometimes fell short. My friends filled the gap. Don't get me wrong. I'm very close to my parents, and I love them dearly. However, it's the friends that help me cope with the challenges of being raised in a traditional home while being surrounded by westernized ideals everywhere else. So, why am I taking Korean? Just ask the other Koreans that make up almost half of my class.
The seldom occasions that people tell me I'm pretty, particularly my face, I usually just giggle and nod thanks. What I wish I could say is, well, I hope so, because I paid over $3,000 for it. I don't like keeping secrets, but my nose cosmetic surgery is something that I will always keep within the silicon of my flesh. Where I come from, plastic surgery is extremely common. It's a popular graduation gift, and many girls desire to fix their nose and eyes. Celebrities without operations are few and far between. And while many would disagree, it really seemed like our faces were considered more attractive with Caucasian features. My nose was what was considered unattractive. Flat and with a rounded tip. I knew it, any photographer knew it, And my mom reminded me about it whether I was standing in front of a mirror or looking through tag pictures on Facebook. Actually, this started well before Facebook was even around. Ever since I was a young girl, my mom has always talked about how she was saving money just so I could have a successful surgery. Sure, I keep this a secret, partly because I'm afraid of what people will think of me. However, more importantly, I'm afraid of what people will think of my mom, my wonderful, supportive mother. Ever since I was young, she's always been close to me. And to her, the surgery was a gift. It was like finally being able to afford her daughter some much-needed braces. I would try to argue with her, saying things like, "Why would you try to change the way God made me? Aren't I His creation?" My parents took such naive reasoning very lightly. To them, I was like a 7-year-old refusing to get braces. Like, even though my teeth are crooked, they work just fine, why should I have to fix them? What's the point? The cognitive dissonance that I experienced nearly drove me insane. Should I get the surgery? Would this really make me happy if I was not here in America? I convinced myself that it was just my mom saying things. But the words that drove me to submit to the surgery weren't from my mom. Asking my stable, dependable dad whether he thought that I needed the surgery, his response was, "Of course you need the surgery. You're not going to college without it." The summer before my freshman year was filled with ambivalence. On the one hand, most of my weeks were filled with excitement, thinking about all the adventures that I would have here at Notre Dame. But as the surgery day got closer, there were the nights when I hid myself in the bathroom, crying and curled up on the tile floor. The crippling reality that I would permanently change myself from the outside, as well as what I felt like on the inside, was overwhelming. It's been almost 2 years since the operation. Did the surgery create a little bit more confidence? For better or worse, the answer is yes. Did it get rid of my insecurity? Of course not. I obsess about my weight and cannot fathom the day that I wear sweatpants to class. I'd rather be late than not look my best. And honestly, in the end, the blame didn't lie with my mom or my culture. The struggle for beauty is cross-cultural, an issue that any female faces. And if I am to be truly comfortable with myself, I'm gonna have to make changes much deeper than any operation could ever reach into.
Asian, a word I have learned to revere. I grew up with an enthusiasm for anything and everything Asian. The cooking with its sweet aromas that bathed the air and a taste that tingled the taste buds. The love and respect for our family and elders almost unrivaled by other cultures. This, to me, is what being Asian meant. Now, growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood and going to a mostly non-Asian all-guy high school, my parents tried to shelter me and cultivate an appreciation for my roots, for my culture. But I was quick to learn that most people didn't view Asianness the same way I did, and my white peers were slowly hacking away at my views of being Asian. Classmates would always ask me, "What happened to your accent?" Or, "Why do you sound so normal?" And this disappointed look in their eyes would show when I told them I was from here. They would then proceed to ask if I was a black belt in Kung Fu or a video game master. And my response would elicit this furrow in their brows and those bored eyes, as if they were asking me, "How are you even Asian?" I was always able to laugh those comments off with a snide comment back. But in my head, I thought myself less Asian. I thought I wasn't good enough to be Asian. I thought I didn't deserve to be Asian. In college, no one seemed to hold these stereotypes, or at least they didn't voice it. It was where I first felt comfortable being Asian, where I first felt comfortable being myself. It was in college I felt comfortable enough to have my first relationship. One time he hugged me, and I felt this wave of happiness being close to him. But before we broke our hug, he said to me, "You know I love Asians, right?" My heart immediately dropped, and I grappled to find that happiness I felt only seconds ago, but I found nothing. The only pervading thought in my mind was, how could he love an average Asian like me?
Sorry. Okay, all right. If I don't know it by now, I'm just not gonna know it. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Just gotta fill this damn Scantron out. God, I hate Scantrons. Such a waste of time. Gotta fill in each and every bubble. Why can't I just be fill in the blank? My handwriting isn't that bad. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's do this. First name, yes, okay, easy. Middle initial, last name, address, school, Notre Dame. Okay. Date of birth, okay. Nationality, I am a U.S. citizen, yes. Ethnicity, please pick the one that's most applicable. Okay, Caucasian, Asian. Did I read that correctly? Please pick the one that's most applicable. Wait. I can only choose one? What? But I'm not just one. Most applicable? What the hell does that even mean? How is one ethnicity more applicable than the other? Okay. I'm half Asian, I'm half Caucasian. Wait. Asian's a minority. Maybe it'll benefit me to pick that. Yeah, Asian, okay. Asian, yes. Oh, wait a second. Aren't Asians supposed to be, like, super smart? Does that mean they're gonna compare me to the other Asians? No. Okay. Maybe it'll benefit me to pick Caucasian then. Caucasian. Yes, Caucasian. Holy shit, that was racist. I'm so confused. Okay, it doesn't matter. Just pick one and fill it in. Doesn't matter. Asian, Caucasian, who knows? But doesn't it kind of matter though? Is it insulting if I just pick one? It's like I'm saying that that's my favorite ethnicity out of the two. Okay, it's almost as if they're asking me what parent I identify best with. Please pick the one that's most applicable. Mom or dad? Caucasian or Asian? Okay, that is bullshit, okay? My mom, she doesn't even identify as Caucasian. She is German, French, and English. And yeah, my dad's of Asian descent, but he doesn't even speak Chinese. Okay, if my dad went to China, they wouldn't even call him Chinese. They would call him American. Why isn't there an American bubble to fill in? Why isn't there an option for multiple bubbles? What? Why isn't there an option for a mix? Or a mutt? I mean, that's what I really am, a mutt. And then it hits me. A voice that I hadn't heard before. 30 minutes left in the exam period. You should be starting on your second essay by now. Shit!
It's one of those days that's so hot, your mom's throwing Johnson's baby powder on your back so you don't have to sweat. But instead of making you feel better, you just reek of musk and baby butt. And you're speckled, like a little quail egg you can get at the Sari Sari store. 3 cousins are stationed at the table with banana leaves, which are also the plates, just swatting away flies. You're starving. And the tables are lined up end to end with food. The cooking took days. I mean, it does back home too. For any good party. Your mom couldn't host anything if she didn't cook enough for everyone to have seconds, and then take some extra home. You remember the first time in 2nd grade when you went to a birthday party without your parents? It was Kyle from school. He invited you to a sleepover and you all watched Tarzan in theaters. But your mom seemed horrified when she found out that all they served you was chips and pizza and cake. Nako, they served you pizza! You just shrugged off your mom's buzzkill, but you did remember to eat before hanging out with white people after that. Not that it's all about the food, no. But food is definitely not insignificant. You remember when a mango fell out of a tree when you're outside talking to your Uncle Bude, which means white because he's mad pale. And it fell right between his legs, mere centimeters away from essentially castrating your mother's favorite brother. And you thought to yourself, well, damn, that's rough. Because normally, you like mango. But that moment really made you think. Things are complex like that. Yeah, and life is good. Sure, life might not be good for everyone, and sure, something could happen that messes it all up. But for now, it seems great just to chill here and wake up with the cocks at dawn, or buy corn from a street vendor, or eat hot dogs with banana ketchup for breakfast. You don't want to think about school. About how everyone else is going to places just like this to serve and find themselves and pump up their resumes full of times they've helped brown people. About how everyone else is meeting people they never knew were so much like them. So they say. But you just hang out with your grandparents, who you know are a lot like you. That's awesome. You plan on staying and becoming an exotic soap opera star. Exotic? For being American? That's something your friends back home would laugh at. Sure, they act like it's cool, but you know. You know that whenever they see another Pinoy somewhere, they say, "Oh my God, my best friend is Filipino!" And you just want to say, "Don't embarrass me." But you guess it doesn't really matter anyway, because half of the Filipino people are either Spanish or Chinese, or ever growingly, Korean. Being Filipino doesn't necessarily mean you need to have Filipino blood at all. Kind of like America. But you haven't fully figured out what being American means yet either. Because technically, you're just American. Like fully American. Never born anywhere else. But you're also Filipino American. And it's not fair that all of your friends get to be more American than you, even though you all grew up in Indiana, which is arguably the most American of America, by virtue of everyone calling themselves Hoosiers. So you're a Hoosier too? You're also whatever you feel like filling in at the time, which is more and more becoming black. Not in any way that you can describe, but it seems less likely that whenever a black person introduces him or herself to someone who isn't black, that the other person feels the need to respond with, "Oh my God, my best friend home is black," or even better, "Oh, I just love black food," which you get a lot, but for Filipino. Which is why it's getting harder and harder to distinguish your culture from your food. But maybe they're kind of supposed to be the same. You think about how eating makes you feel, full and warm on the inside. Kind of like how hearing your 2-year-old cousin Angelo learning English for the first time makes you feel warm on the inside. With rice just stuffed in his cheeks. And you think to yourself, "Naku naman, Jello, slow down with the rice." But you keep stuffing your face too. And you can both be fat Filipinos together. And at that moment, I guess that's all that really matters.